Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars Dad, Nooch Too Good, and we talk about assault battles a lot on this channel. But what exactly is the return on investment for farming up for an assault battle? What do you get back out of your characters by farming a Sith team for Place of Power, an Imperial Trooper team for Forest Moon or Rebel Roundup, etc., etc., etc.? What do you actually get back, and what are the low-level investments you can do to get that return? What is the actual ROI, return on investment, for the assault battles? What we have over here right now are the basic 6 assault battles. These have been out for a long, I think all of them have been out for a long time. We're talking years and years and years for the assault battles. These have been out. Let's take a look at the rewards for these. Well, there are a couple other assault battles too, I know that. We'll talk about those briefly. But I want to look at these basic 6 ones first. And I'm going to start here. We're going to start with this Yakuza Challenge Tier Farm, guys. So Yakuza actually published this on Reddit. I grabbed the graphic. Full credit to Yakuza. Go check it out on Reddit. But I think this is a really good point to make before we get started. What is actually required for these different challenge tiers? And some of these teams I'm going to differ with or whatever, but it's not a big deal. Like this Mon Mothma team down here, that's a little bit odd. I don't think people are farming Mon Mothma early in the game. But as far as challenge tier 1 across the board, what you could see up and down the line here is that you can get through challenge tier 1 with almost exclusively non-relic characters that don't require a boatload of Chirotechs. And the reason I say that is, what's the ease of farming, right? What is the ease of farming? And when we look at challenge tier 1, that's going to be your easiest farming. Getting through challenge tier 1 with a minimal investment. If you look at the top there, if you look at Ground War, Jedi Knight Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, Hermit Yoda, Shaak Ti, and General Kenobi. By the way, you can mix and match a lot in here. If you have Jedi Knight Revan and Hermit Yoda, you can mix and match a lot of the other characters in here. But those are pretty good characters to start with. If you look at those at Gear 12, I think I should actually pull Shaak Ti out of there. I'm going to sub in Ahsoka Snips for Shaak Ti. If I put Ahsoka Snips in there at Gear 12, I can do challenge tier 1 of that assault battle, and I will have never invested a Chirotech for my Gear 12, my full Gear 12 team. And I think that's really, really important to note about the return on investment, because what do you actually get back in challenge tier 1? Let me pull these rewards up here. And that's true, by the way. I'm going to pull these rewards up. It's true for all of them. Forest Moon, I'm going to put the Imperial Troopers into Forest Moon. I'm going to put the Imperial Troopers into Rebel Roundup. Imperial Troopers can actually go through challenge tier 1 of Forest Moon and Rebel Roundup probably at Gear 11 if you got a Veers Trooper team. And you could do it with a non-Chirotech team, although you got to put Piet in there. So you have one character that requires Chirotechs. But I'm trying to give you minimal investment for maximal rewards. The rest of them, you can find Gear 12. We got a Relic 1 DACA in there for Secrets and Shadows. You can also do the Secrets and Shadows with the Phoenix team. It's got Captain Rex on there. So that's newer information since this is published. But you can get through these things. And if I look at assault battles that you can get through challenge tiers 2 and 3 without relicking those same characters, I'm going to be looking at Forest Moon and Rebel Roundup with your Imperial Troopers. I've actually had people on streams tell me that they got through challenge tier 3 of those assault battles with some Gear 12 troopers and even some under Gear troopers. So you can get through challenge tier 3 of those. Now it's going to take you about 250 tries, but you can do challenge tier 2 maybe of those with Gear 12 troopers as well. And also Military Might with your CLS team. You don't need these relic levels to get through challenge tier 2 and challenge tier 3 of that. I did challenge tier 3 with a relic, I think it was a relic 2 or relic 3 CLS, a relic 1 Han, a relic 1 Chewbacca, and this is before Chewpio, a Gear 11 Chewbacca and 3PO, and a relic 3PO. I think you can do 3PO at Gear 12 as well. You can get through challenge tier 3 of that one with minimal investment as well, with spending very few Chirotechs. So what I would encourage you to do is take your Imperial Troopers, take your CLS team, take your Phoenix out there, take your Sith out there, take your Jedi out there, test them out. See how far you can get with Gear 12 or lower a character's net to get through challenge tier 1, challenge tier 2, and challenge tier 3 to see what you can reward. Get yourself the biggest ROI possible on assault battles. Now, let's take a little bit closer look at the actual rewards for those assault battles. And if we let's pull these assault battles. We can pull them in the background here, right? There we go. They're in the background now. So if we look, oh, darn it. I pulled it up too soon. That's okay. You get the idea. So we're talking about these 6 basic assault battles, right? And this is the rewards in Challenge Tier 1. What we were talking about, the challenge tier you could do without any relic characters for pretty much all those assault battles. These are the rewards for Challenge Tier 1. Now, you're getting 5 each of these. I can never remember the names of them. I'm sorry. The salvage pieces that you need 50 of each of these first 3 pieces to relic your characters. That's a Gear 12 finisher. You get 20 Chirotechs, 10 of each Chirotech for each challenge tier, and you get 2 Zetas. If you multiply that out by the 6 basic assault battles, that's 30 of each of those salvage pieces, 60 of each Chirotech, and 12 Zetas every month. You're doing pretty well on the basic 6 assault battles a month, and if you can do it without investing Chirotechs, you're doing even better for those rewards. Now we take those away. Let's take a look at the challenge tier 2 to 3 rewards. So here are those. Challenge tier 2 and 3 are the exact same rewards. You're gonna get 3 blue, 3 green, and 5 gray signal data. Then you're gonna get 3 of the chromium. I can't get these names. I never get these names. Here are all the relic materials that you get. These are all relic materials, by the way. That's what you're getting Challenge Tier 2 and 3. That's what you're getting, and if you do them 6 times a month at these basic levels, you're getting 18, 18, 30, 18. You get the idea. Now, that's what you're going to get for Challenge Tier 2 and 3. For most Challenge Tier 2s and 3s, or for some of them, you're going to have to relic some characters. But as I mentioned, your Imperial Troopers can probably get through Challenge Tier 2 on both Forest Moon and Rebel Roundup, just being Gear 12. You'll have to invest in Piet for some Chirotechs, but other than that, there's limited Chirotech investment here, and a limited or no relic investment. And once you invest in Piet for Executor, for example, or Veers and Stark for Sith Eternal Emperor, as you start to invest in those characters bigger to get other stuff done, it's going to make it even easier for you. So these are the rewards you get out of those. And if we take a look at the Wikipedia here for Galaxy of Heroes, here are the relic levels that you've got. So relic level 1 requires 40 of the, I can't remember the names. I just can't do it. 40, 30, and then 40 of the bronzium wirings. I got that one. 30, 40, 20. So here's the materials you need. You can go check out the Wikipedia for that. And when you compare that against the rewards that you're going to get for Challenge Tier 2 to 3, if you do them 6 times a month, you're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well to get yourself some relic materials for that when you look at doing these things 6 times a month for the basic assault battles. So this is why I am always honking on the assault battles, especially, I gotta tell you guys, as I'm looking at these rewards, I'm just gonna say, especially Challenge Tier 1. When you look at doing Challenge Tier 1 for these rewards for having non-relic characters, it's out of the galaxy. I mean, this is tremendous for your roster on a monthly basis. And when you start layering in the other rewards as well, you know, you're doing some really good stuff. Oh, I jumped ahead there. I can't get the clicking right here, but you're doing some really good stuff for your roster with the assault battles. Now, let's take a look at one assault battle we haven't talked about, and that's a Duel of the Fates. This requires Padawan Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. Again, we're going to be using Gerbil's graphic here. Tier 1 requires any gear level characters. You can get it done with almost any gear level. If you just throw some okay mods on there, you're going to earn 2 million credits and 7 shards of one or the other. Tier 2, it's kind of blocked off. It's going to be 10 to 15 shards of one or the other and 2 more million credits. And you got to have 5-star Padawan Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn, Master Qui-Gon. Tier 3, by the way, you can also use regular Qui-Gon in this. You'd have to have a pretty good Padawan Obi-Wan to use him. So, because Padawan Obi-Wan is required. Tier 3 requires 7-star characters, and the mod return on that is tremendous. I've calculated that at 3,000 a month. Other people calculated it at like about half of that, actually, 1,500 a month. It's somewhere between 1,500 and 3,000 a month crystals that you're getting back, but regardless, you're getting a big reward for having 7-star Padawan Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, here's the deal with Padawan Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn for the Duel of the Fates assault battle. They're on single farm nodes right now. If you're watching this a year later, they'll be on double farm nodes, but they're on single farm nodes right now, and they both require 400 Chirotechs to get them to relic levels. So These are Kyrotech investments. Can you do tier 3 with Gear 7, Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon, and their Zetas applied? I think it's possible. I don't know that, though, yet. So maybe somebody test it out there and let me know if you can do tier 3 with... Because if you can go to 7-star in Gear 7, you'll have invested 0 Kyrotechs and get a bunch of mod rewards there. I think probably with the Zetas on there, you can get that done. Now, tier 4, 5, and 6. Now we're jumping straight to relics. You gotta have Relic 5 for tier 4, Relic 7 for tier 5, and Relic 9 for tier 6. The payoffs, these do pay off over time. You look at tier 4, you're gonna get 1 of these signal data, 100 carbonite circuit boards. Now I can name them because they're right there in front of me. 100 carbonite circuit boards, 50 bronzium wiring, 25 chromiums, or 10 erodium heat sinks. And then you can get 15 signal data, 10 or 7. That is gonna pay off after... Well, let's look at our farming board here. If we look at the relic level materials that are required, if we think about 100 carbonite circuit boards, 100 carbonite circuit boards get you to tier 3. If we relic level 3. If you look at relic level 4, that's 130. Relic level 5 is 160. Relic level 6 is 180. Relic level 7 is 200. So this could pay off in 2 months, as far as just the circuit boards, okay? It's not going to pay off with the signal data, but the circuit boards can pay off in as low as 2 months. If we just take the signal data, let's take the fragmented at 15. You're looking at Relic 2, 15, 35, 55, 75, 95, 115. That's going to pay off in like 30, 60, 90, 120. That's going to pay off in about 8 months. So you're going to pay this off between 2 to 8 months with the value you get out of it, because you're gonna get a bunch of the circuit boards, the bronzium wires. You're gonna get a bunch of those. 2 to 8 months. Let's say 4 to 8 months. You'll pay off for Relic 5 characters, somewhere in that range. Now for the tier 5 for Relic 7 characters, you're actually getting back. You're getting big Zinbittle cards. It's okay. So you're getting back Zinbittle cards, impulse detectors, Amaro magnifiers, and even more signal data. So if you look at the Zinbittle cards, etc., that's all required for Relic 7, 8, and 9. So you're getting back Relic 7, Impulse Detector, Arrow Magnified, Relic 7, and 8, and 9 material there. So this is also going to be paying for you to advance your characters to Relic 8 and 9. And when you get to Tier 6 with Relic 9 characters, then you're getting Gerda keypads and droid brains, which are only required for Relic 9. So these are the payoffs. Now you're getting 5 of them each time. You look at that, it takes 20, so 5 times 4, that's about an 8-month payoff. You can refresh it with crystals with, it's refreshed with, 1,000 crystals. So you could do that. I don't know if that's worth it. I think I did the math and it is worth it, because I think it costs 1,200 crystals to actually buy the Gerda keypads, and droid brains. But regardless, these tier levels are going to pay off somewhere in the range of 4 to 8 months at tier 4, 5, and 6. The other tiers just pay for themselves immediately. And again, if somebody can get through tier 3 with like Gear 7, Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Master Qui-Gon, I'd love to hear about it. Please put in comments that you can get through that. So I really love Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon. I think these payoffs are well worth it for your account. If you look at like a 4 or even 6 to 8 month payoff on an assault battle, or return on investment for an assault battle, after that, it's all gravy. After 6 to 8 months, it's all gravy for Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon, and that is a tremendous return on investment for these two. Now, there's one more assault battle we did not mention, and that is Fanatical Devotion. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind with this one is it requires Inquisitors. And what does every Inquisitor require to get them leveled up? 400 Kyrotechs to take them to relic levels. That means it's going to be 300 Kyrotechs to get them to gear 11. Generally speaking, I don't think you need Kyrotechs to go from 11 to 12. I could be wrong on one of those or other. But you're going to need 300 Kyrotechs to get them to gear 12. You're going to need another 100 Kyrotechs to get them up to relic levels. And for that reason, when we look at the Fanatical Devotion assault battle, and yes, you can do it with Tuskens, but the thing about Tuskens is, and I'm going to be testing that on my new Lord Vader account. We're going to be doing Tuskens instead. It's a lower Kyrotech investment, but it's still going to be like a 1,200 to 1,400 Kyrotech investment, as opposed to the Inquisitors, which are going to be 2,000 to 2,400. So Tuskens are a lower Kyrotech investment, but they don't literally lead anywhere. Inquisitors actually lead you to Grand Inquisitor and then Reva, who is basically a mini galactic legend once you get her unlocked and Rise of the Empire territory battles. So I think the Inquisitors are much more valuable, but the return on investment for this assault battle, even though it runs twice a month, it does run twice a month. Even though it does run twice a month, the return on investment for the Fanatical Devotion assault battle is lower than the return on investment for the other assault battles. So just keep that in mind, that these characters require a bunch of Kyrotechs to upgrade. And that is what we've got today. Going over the return investment, I just have to say, out of all of this, Challenge Tier 1 is something everybody should shoot for on their entire roster. I think that's the first thing everybody should farm, is get all your assault battles to at least Challenge Tier 1. And you'll find yourself doing some Challenge Tier 2s and maybe some Challenge Tier 3s along the way. You can really build a roster and do a lot of good work in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes if you're doing those 6 basic assault battles every single month. That's what we got for you. I'd love to hear you guys' comments. Comments on the video. I will talk to you soon. And of course, always remember, Noob's too good.